See, things have come to head, time out for scare you, scary route today. And follow us down Courage Lane, they cages in, break down the gates. We want all the smoke, like we chiefin' on a pound a day, but not talking intoxicating rage, not this intoxicating. This is far more tragic than what's comprehended. This has got to stop. I don't understand everything as a man. I'm authorized by God to make this petition. Believe it, especially when you hate and aim to kill a man.
Wrap it up.
Yes.
Welcome back. You know what it is, the latest and the greatest. It's a blessing to be before you all on today. It's a blessing. TOTB still going strong. Here, talk to you, see what you got for us as far as these comments. We know y'all gonna stay on us and get on us, but that's all right. We gonna do what we do. As always, it's a blessing to be before you all here today. As you already know, we always keep some of the best guests coming on here, the most electrifying guests. But before we do that, before we get started, we just want to say thank each and every last one of y'all for rocking with us. Thank everybody in the Chicagoland area, all our fans around the world. We didn't have some extra people check in from some different states, man.
Yeah, we definitely like Detroit, Atlanta. Man, I want to say shouts out to y'all. Vegas, we'll be out there in April. Tune in. We're doing 2 shows out there in April. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be big. You know what I'm saying? We're bringing the whole fam out there.
Most
so
definitely.
We're going to be deep. You know what I'm saying? So watch out for that. You know, so yeah, check out. Thinking outside the box, man. And we got some people in Atlanta checking in for us too, man. So shout out to them people in Atlanta, man. In Houston, Texas too.
Most definitely. So we getting around, man. And it's a blessing to be before you all and a blessing to y'all to rock with us. And before we get to our spectacular guest, man, on today, we're going to go ahead and let y'all know who he is, even though go without being said for this man over here, Mr. Moolah Monster.
Yes. Check me out, moolahmonster.com. Man, you can find some of the greatest gear, man. We got some beanies. I just put them online. You know what I'm saying? Nice beans. Getting cold outside Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Windy City. So you got to have your beanies on. You know what I'm saying? I see my man got one on. You feel me? So shout out to moolahmonster.com. And go check me out on Moolah Monster Collections, man. You know what I'm saying? We're doing big things. You can find all our clips on there, man. I'm talking about our clips. You going viral, too.
I think that, man. We'll talk about that later. That's going to be a whole nother show.
In the comments, man.
I love it. and it don't matter how you chop it up. They're going to always hold it against you.
No, sir.
That's a good thing, though. Controversy is good.
Hey, man.
And I still stand on what I stand on.
That's right.
Understand. And with that being said, I am D. Jenkins, a.k.a. Holy Grind, the man who uses all his resources to give to the decline and the denied and hope that we all shall decline. And it's a blessing to be before y'all on today. Check me out at DJenkins_25 on IG, also on Facebook, and of course D Jenkins on TikTok, and of course TOTB_show for the latest and greatest on TOTB. And with that being said, now that we got that out the way, we got the thinkers out the way. Also, man, shout out to our brother Reggie moving forward, man. Reggie, shout out, he'll be back. He definitely will be back rocking with us. He had a previous engagement. That's all right. We're going to rock out for him. And now that we got that out the way, man, let's get to this man right here, man. I met him at the Inspire Fest, man, and he inspired me just through conversation, you know. And I told him we're going to have to get him on the show to come rock with us, man, and bless us with his presence, man. Y'all get up for Mr. Nick Jackson, man.
Hey. Well, thank you.
Where can they find you at, bro?
So right now you can find me at FGNM for life on Instagram, as well as Facebook. You can find me on capital FGNM as well. And then on top of that, you can look at my website, feargodnotmanlifeware.com.
There it is.
Check me out.
Okay, let them know what that means.
We just finna get to that, man.
Yeah, we can get to that. So basically, FGNM stands for Fear God Not Man. So basically, it's the brand that stands on biblical values and biblical principles. Basically, one of the brands is going to stand on the Bible. We're not doing anything else. We're going to literally focus on what it is that we need to focus on. So many things going on in this world, essentially, that people have lost focus and people have lost reverence for. So that's what this brand is about. It's about standing on that, standing on those values and principles, and bringing the remembrance of, hey, yes, God is loving, God is just, God is gracious, but he's also righteous. He has to judge. We got to remind people that we've just forgot to reverence the Lord when it comes to everything that we do. Almost like how you respect your parents and everything like that. It's the exact same way. You can't just go around and do certain things that you want to do, especially if you say that you claim that you represent Christ, represent God. So basically, that's what this brand, the Lord gave me this brand to actually do that. And this started like a couple years ago, and I've officially launched in June. Currently, right now, I'm doing some more little work tweaks on the website right now. So if anybody goes right now, they're going to see that. It'll be up and running again within the next week or so. So I'm not worried about that. But ultimately, that's what this brand is about. Reminding people who it is that we need to focus on, who it is that we need to reverence, and who it is that we need to hear when everything comes down to it. Not man, not anything else in this world, but God himself, simply because of
Most definitely. Now, with that being said, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
So what made you get to the point where you decided to take this bold approach into a clothing line outside of just being a stand-up, you know what I'm saying, guy in regards to God and fearing God? What made you decide to take that over into a apparel brand?
So originally it came about, like I said, a couple of years ago. It was around the same time that everybody was being both, whatever they want to be both for.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever lifestyle, whatever it is that they wanted to stand up for, that's what they decided to do. And I'm like, okay, Lord, why aren't we doing that?
Mm-hmm.
And that was one thing that was always in my spirit. It was like, we got everybody saying that they're both for everything they say, whatever they want to say, they do whatever they want to do. Heck, in times they even mock the faith.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like, but we not doing it. And I was looking at different Christian brands, stuff like that. And I'm like, but they don't kind of hit the mark. It's kind of like one of those things the Lord was developing in me. It's like, no, I want my people to reverence.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where that was birthed out of. Just like, all right, I got to do something. And if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it for the Lord. Because at that time, I was still working for the company I was working with. And I was like, nah, I need to do something different. And the Lord was already working in my heart. And I was like, if I'm going to make a stand, it's going to be a stand.
Yeah.
This brand, in a sense, it literally either you're going to like it or you're going to hate it. It's one of those things that just takes a stand and it's not a compromise. One of those like, hey, either you're going to respect it or you're not. If you don't, fine, that's fine. You don't have to. But if you do, know that this is what it's going to stand for. Biblical values, biblical principles, and stand firm on the Bible.
Most definitely. Any backlash?
I like it. You know what I'm saying? Like I think I seen a Proverbs shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen a nice. That was nice. It had forgot what it had on there.
Yeah, Proverbs 1:7. Yeah.
7. Yeah.
Proverbs 1:7.
But
I know you get it's Proverbs 1:7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Only fools despise.
And that's absolutely true. So speaking of that, have you had any people that despise the knowledge that you trying to feed through this? That they despise what you're going and the approach that you've been taking?
So far, no. I've been getting a lot of encouragement when it comes to it because a lot of people, ironically, is around that same time that kind of people are like, I can rock.
Okay.
So not too much pushback. I mean, I probably may have a couple, but at the end of the day, it's like, I'm going to do what the Lord told me to do or what he's called me to do, what he's given me to do, essentially. Because it's like, at the end of the day, I got to answer.
And that's one thing I like about creators in fashion, right? Like, you take this vision that you got in your head and you put it together and make a little gumbo, but it becomes your baby, right? Because you're watching it grow. Like we just talking earlier about seeds, right?
Yeah.
You watch it grow, man, and you really be passionate about it because you see how far it goes. You know what I'm saying? You know, when I created Moolah Monster, you know, back in 2017, right? I never looked at it being like really what it is today, right? Yeah. But I had the passion for it and I wanted to do it and I wanted to mean something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I remember I told Grant one time, he was like, man, you know, I love Moolah Monster. He say, but you know, the name, you know what I'm saying? I say, listen, it means something more than just what you think it is.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Because like you just said, like this was God telling you, you know, this is what he was guiding you, right? Yeah. With guardrails also. You know what I'm saying? But you had a straight tunnel vision about it.
Yep.
And that's how it was. You know, like my whole thing was like, I feel like a person who is on his thing, Like he's really moving. He got motion. You know what I'm saying? And I was trying to teach financial literacy at the same time. So I was trying to include these two things. And I was like, what do people really like in this world? They love money, right? But when you a monster at it, right? That means you'll do anything to get it, right? At the same time, we used to have the same aspect of that with financial literacy on learning credit, learning different things on how to have generational wealth because we lacking. We behind the 8 ball, you know what I'm saying, as a race. So I always look at that like, I'm going to change it up. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, from the outside looking in, people will say like, oh, Moolah Monster, and it's about money. It's about like you grinding, but it's a whole different thing. And that's what I like about yours, you know, because you giving people a really, a look inside who you are because your brand is who you are. You know what I'm saying? Because you represent it, right?
Oh yeah, I have to, especially if it's something that I'm going to be putting out there, especially if I'm saying that's for the Lord. So definitely.
Exactly. You know, and I don't want people to think, because everybody have a lane, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you come out with a brand, you know, yours biblical. So you're going to have a lot of church going people or religious people. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's all streetwear. You know what I'm saying? Because you get it, you wear it, it's fashionable. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I like shirts and clothes with meanings. Yeah. Because that make me feel like what I'm going through today, this is my mood today.
Now that's why I would differ with you at is where you say a lot of churchgoers and no, the meaning behind it will gravitate towards a lot of people, everybody, because see, we all go through stuff. That's one thing a lot of people fall behind. When I think about the Fear God Not Man apparel, and I've seen it, and I love the presentation because when I first met him, his presentation was everything. You know what I mean? I love how he had presented it to me, even how he gave me his links. It would not. He thought I forgot him, but I didn't forget him. What really stood out to me was how he glorified God and what he was saying, what he was talking, and how he had liked how I was glorifying God in my music. Yep. You know, and one thing that I can say, you get a lot more people. You'd be surprised at how many people that's not churchgoers that will support you. Because because the word feeds everybody.
Yeah. Like I said, it goes with mood too. But what I'm saying is it's a lane though. Because when you into fashion, you have to have a lane. You know what I'm saying? Who the people who's going to be knocking at your door. You see how you connected with him, right? Yeah. Because you fit in his lane. You know what I'm saying? Just realistically.
So, yeah, I think I see what he's talking about. Yeah. It's kind of like when you start a business, you got to find your actual. So that's what he sounds like he's trying to from. But what you come from is like, no, it's for everybody. Generally, it is.
It's true.
Generally, it is. However, but when you first starting off, you got to find that like a specific.
Because those people who's going to really be
your target market. Yeah, is what you're trying to get at.
Target audience.
Target market. Yeah. So I mean, and that would be anybody who fears God. Yeah. You know, that would be your target market. And I think that's very important because there's a lot of people who don't reverence God. Yeah. You know, who don't have any fear of God. They don't have that governor inside of them that'll tell them to stop. Yeah. You know, they want to.
Some people got scraps, you know what I'm saying, on their arms. You know what I'm saying? So to walk with it on your shirt, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like that's legit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was the part of it, doing it like that, because it allowed you to be able to make statements. And on top of that, it could be an evangelism tool, things like that. Yeah. Because it's like FG&M, people are like, oh, what that mean? Yeah. So it's kind of one of those things, like I said, this is one of the things the Lord the vision that he's given me to run with. And that's like, okay, that can make sense. Like, yeah, let's find something to be bold for the channel. Because now is the time with everything going on that we see going on.
So have you always taken that stance in life, or was it a turnaround in your life?
So I always felt like I've taken that stance, and life is just, I really started getting more serious with my walk in my early 20s, late teens, early 20s. Okay. But this whole transition really happened the more I started trying to learn more about God, even trying to dig in even more. Well, let me rephrase. 2020 is when a lot of stuff transpired. Okay. So that was when, not to say before then I wasn't serious. I was still serious, but it was just like a whole transition, because that just, when everything shut down, everything happened, it was like, it was a couple things that happened in 2020. Either your walk got closer with God, or you drifted away.
Mhm.
Because of the simple fact they shut down churches, they shut down you being able to go anywhere or anything like that. So it was like, where was your faith at in the first place? Where is your relationship at with God in the first place? Is it in going to a church and actually learning from somebody, possibly learning from somebody, or somebody could be misleading you? Or do you actually go in and dig in it for yourself? So that was one of the biggest things. Once they shut down everything, my wife and I were like, so what? You don't go to a church? Okay, I'm just reading my word. And we just started digging more into it. And the more I started doing it, the more I started praying, the more I started doing different things like that. I was like, first off, you're not going to tell me I can't worship God. That's not going to happen. Second, I want to make sure that I have this in me, like bleeding it, like it comes out of me. Simply because of the fact, like I know exactly, especially anybody who reads the book of Revelation, you know exactly where stuff's going to go. So it's kind of like, if you're going to end up going that route and you're going to say you work for the Lord and do things for the Lord, there's a consequence that comes with that.
Yes.
So it's kind of like, all right, so I need this to be so real to me, just like the disciples back in the day, because they spent 3 years with Jesus and all of a sudden they all died horrific, praising God on the way out. You can't be in this world mindset being able to do that. You have to have a whole different mindset to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, I need to get to that mindset, because it's like, this has got to be that real. And then from there on, it was just like, okay, we're doing that. And then time continued to go. The Lord was starting to change my heart on different things. And then, like I said, I was looking at different brands, and I was always, because right around that time when I was like contemplating leaving my job and everything like that, I was like, if I'm going to do something, I want to do it to give God the glory and everything I do. And then that's where this started coming into play. And then I was like, we got to be bold. And the people need something, because it's time to stop spending money on companies stuff like that that don't believe what you believe. So it's like, why not have something out there that believes what you believe and put it out there and go from there?
So this is what I want. So we have a lot of viewers, right?
Yeah.
And this is Thinking Outside the Box podcast, right? I want to know, how did you get to this point? And the people want to know, because we have a lot of people who are stuck. We got a lot of people who fear of getting to that point of their life. You know what I'm saying? I want to know what you went through to get you to that point.
Give me to that point.
Yes.
Okay.
Because to me, this is how I feel. I feel that mistakes have to happen. These bumps have to happen in your life for you to, you know what I'm saying, garner that type of knowledge. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I know my man, you know, he wasn't who he is, you know what I'm saying, today. You know what I'm saying? So we all went through something. What did you go through to get your man like this?
So, well, there's a lot of things, obviously, because y'all guys are older than me, so you got a little bit more than what I got. But no, I grew up in Oakland, California. So I grew up with my mom, grew up with my grandfather and everything like that. So my grandfather played a huge part in helping me grow and mature the way that I have. So he definitely invested in me, and the seeds that he planted eventually started taking. But ultimately, growing up teenager, did stupid things, went to parties, didn't really get into too much trouble, but even at that time frame, I still knew that God had his hand on my life, because I couldn't deny it. Certain times I was trying to go places, all of a sudden either something happened, couldn't go, places get shot up, or all kind of different things happen. And then had different little health episodes where having racing heart rate and all kind of different, like, it was almost as though it was like Lord kind of like reminded me, like, okay, remember, there's more to this life.
Yeah.
You don't know when something could transpire.
Yeah.
And then a couple of times there, I almost could have gotten shot a couple of times. It was just being at the wrong place at the wrong time, but God spared me from actually experiencing certain things.
Yes.
And it was just like, okay, it was right around when I was like, 21? I think it was when I was like 21. My cousin and I, we went out to a club, and I was still kind of teetering back and forth, doing what people call lukewarm or whatever, because I was like, okay, I'm in it, but I'm kind of still want to do my own thing.
Right.
So we came back from the club and everything like that. I was a designated driver because I wasn't drinking at the time because I stopped doing a lot of things anyway. So I was coming from the club and everything like that, walking with my cousin, my friends, and like there was a car that pulled up, and this car was like all black windows, black everything. Rolled down the window a little bit, all we saw was like a red hat. They did their little, because at the time we're in the Bay Area, so it was like the Bay versus LA type of thing. It was a whole thing. So we had people from LA coming to the Bay Area. So they did their little blood call, whatever that was. And like I heard it, I'm like, nah, we don't do that. This Bay Area, what you doing? So they was like, they rolled the window up. My cousin and I were looking around. We're like, okay, what's about to happen? They do it again. Roll the window back up. By this time, I'm like, okay, this ain't right. So they rolled the window down again. We're trying to walk towards the car. All you heard was a click, click. And then 3 cop cars rolled by. They didn't come after them. They went after somebody else. But 3 of them, like right after 1, 2, 3, then they drove off. That very night, I was like, okay. Once I drove everybody home and everything like that, and once everybody got calmed down from the situation, and I got home, I was like, all right, Lord. Because at that time, that was the second time something like that happened. I was like, okay, Lord, I don't need a third. Because I might not be as lucky on third. I might not be as fortunate. And then I started getting my walk right with the Lord from there. And then I was like, okay, I already know the basics. Pray, read the word. I've started to do that daily. Started to do that every single day. Waking up, praying. Going to bed, praying. Before I leave, reading my word. And whether it's noonday, afternoon, whatever, it didn't matter. I was always making sure I got the word in. And then my mind started changing. My heart started. Different things start changing. The more you read the word of God, the more you start to change. It's the consistent thing that you have to do on a consistent basis. Once I started doing that, then a lot of things started changing. Desires that I had before started to fade away. It's all these little, like, sometimes it can be, some people, stuff goes away. Some people it takes time. But majority of the time, it's the initial steps to do certain. You have to at least do something. God can do everything that he wants. He can do anything. However, sometimes there are certain things that you have to do to be able to actually, for him to give him the reign to do the things that he wants to do in your life.
Yeah.
But it started there, and then I started going to church more. Well, I was already going to church. That's what I was saying with the lukewarm stuff. Because I was still going to church, but during the week I was living how I wanted to live. But it is what it is. But then I just started changing. Like I said, my mindset started changing. My heart started changing. My desire started changing. I started focusing more on getting the word in me. What I mean by that is I was intentional with it because instead of listening to certain music, I stopped listening to all kind of music because at that time I was listening to rap music. I listened to a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm like, nah, I can't continue to bombard my spirit with this stuff. And I wanted to actually do something different. So I stopped listening to hip hop music. I stopped listening, I dropped a lot of stuff. And then I was just bombard the same way that I was bombarding myself with rap music and the same way I was bombarding myself with crazy stuff on TV was the same way I was bombarding myself getting the word in. So every time I was on YouTube, let me put on a sermon. Every time I was listening to music, let me put on a worship. And I did that the exact same thing that I did to get me in that mess in the first place.
Right.
I did the exact same thing to get me out. The opposite way, but just put more worship, put more of this. Every time I was like, okay, let me think of something different to play. Like it got to a point where I would literally play on my laptop at my studio apartment when I was in Champaign, a whole 8 hours of just nothing but worship. And I was intentional because I was like, I know I have all this music and all this stuff in my head that does not glorify God. I need a reverse engineer. Same exact thing with all the desexualization and all the stuff like that, with the lust and all that. I had to re-engineer all that by just reading, listening to something that was going to edify my spirit, saying no to my flesh daily, which is not easy, especially if you're starting off.
For sure.
But it starts with the first no.
Yeah.
Then feed your spirit, and then utilize the actual word of God to attack anytime that those things come up, and then you start to get stronger in your spiritual walk. Yeah. And then it's easier to start saying no to your flesh.
start activating it in your life, exercising everything that you've been learning, inputting,
Exactly.
and bringing it to fruition and make it manifest in your life.
And then the next phase from there, it just continues to grow. But then obviously, as you continue to grow, your battles are going to get stronger because now you're no longer in the enemy's territory. You're like, oh crap, now you're a threat.
Yeah.
Then there's more issues that's going to come. That's going to require you to do more things, whether it's fasting, whether, like I said, deeper prayer, whatever it is. You always want to be in this situation where you're growing.
And we was just talking about that. We're growing. You know what I'm saying? And that's like a segue to what we're talking about. What we're talking about.
Most definitely. So, and I'm glad you said that too, talking about. Now, before we jump that though, you said something I want to go back to. You said your grandfather always, he was inputting
yes. He
God
definitely
into your life.
He definitely was one of the main ones
influencing your life.
Yeah.
So he's a man of God. He feared God.
Yes, sir.
Reverence God always, and put
Yes,
that.
sir.
And I'm glad that you said that, because I think that's what a lot of us are missing, and that's what a lot of missing. We missing the men that's gonna step up and really put forth us to start reverencing God and speak about God as much. That's why we got so much that's going on. We was talking today, and we was bringing to the table a topic called Hunger Games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and in Hunger Games, we think about, you know, this appetite for competition, this unhealthy competition that's amongst us as a people, you know, especially God's people, his chosen people, you know, and I think about how they play us against each other and how we allow ourselves to be played against each other. And it's extremely rampant amongst our men. Yeah. You know, you don't hear about, like, for instance, you got Nick Young and Steven Jackson going at it. You know, you got Draymond Green and Kenyon Martin going at it. And it's like, why do we get to a point where we get to a point in our life where we actually influential in the community, we influential in entertainment, you know, you well off in life, but then you find some way, or somebody finds some way to get us to play against each other. You know what I'm saying? Especially as black men, you know, and it's like this hunger, this desire that we have to be competitive with one another instead of celebrating one another. You know, even what you think about, even like with Kobe, now all of a sudden everybody want to talk about who was better than Kobe. You know what I mean? When before it was always Mike and Kobe. Yeah. Maybe LeBron, but now that he dead now, everybody, you know, rest his soul, everybody want to drag his name through the dirt. And I'm like, we don't see this type of stuff happen with I ain't never heard Dirk Nowitzki talking about Larry Bird. No. I ain't never heard, you know,
it's
Mark
just
Price
with our
and
race.
John Stockton.
To me, it's just with our race, man. Even when you go in the barbershops, who your top five? You know, why we all can't be great? Man. Why we all can't celebrate each other like you said? It's always we got to compete with each other. Jordan or LeBron, Jordan or Kobe. Why we all can't celebrate? You don't hear the white folks talking about Bruce Springsteen or, you know what I'm saying? You know, Bob Dylan. Like you don't hear none of this stuff, man. So I just want, and that's probably, you know, the problem with us, man. Everybody want to be number one. Everybody want to be number one. Yeah. When we all can share the same space. You know what I'm saying? So,
But I do think you hear it amongst fans.
Oh yeah, fans, yeah. Totally.
Fans talk about it. Even with them, like, fans will talk about it. But I'm talking about how,
but it's an ego thing too with the individual athlete.
No. What I mean by that is you get fans who just feel like, I feel like he was better than him, right? Yeah. And I can understand that from a fan point of view. Yeah. But my thing is the actual people, like I never heard, like, even if you go back, okay, let's go back. Before you didn't hear Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley talking about each other like that. You know what I'm saying? They was competing. Yeah. They was competing when they was there.
It was healthy.
Yeah, exactly. Now you got people and they really like why I can't just be great and you be great too? Right. Why we gotta demise one another?
Got Pip and hate Jordan now.
And all this now, right?
Like, come on, Pip.
So do you think, with that being said, right, now that we hear this type of stuff coming out about the other ones, do you believe that it's this culture that brought that about? Do you believe that? The culture brought about this unhealthy competition?
I would definitely say culture plays a part in it. like you said, I also agree with the ego aspect of it. Pride is the main thing, the main culprit of everything. But definitely, because our culture, we do have a very proud culture. And once again, pride is like the worst thing that you could ever have in your life because that could destroy you very quickly. But yeah, as a culture, we definitely are very prideful. Granted, we've been through a lot, and I understand why people try to have pride in certain things, but we should definitely find a way to actually help celebrate one another versus tear each other down.
Because it's holding us back at the same time for not collaborating. We was just talking about it earlier, man. Like, we have to do better as a race within our own people. Like, we have to, support each other, man. And even if you don't support, right, don't talk bad about them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that, it's not going to hurt you to like, to share, anything like that. But our people, we want to, like, make sure we put our fears on you, that you don't go nowhere. We put the fake criticism on you.
Yep.
And it's all like, for what?
Yep.
To hold some, like, and we always talk about what white people ain't giving us, white people ain't doing. But we doing everything to ourselves.
Everything to ourselves.
Everything to ourselves. Yeah. We kill ourselves. We hurt ourselves. We talk about our own people. You look at other race, man. We see bums on the street, man. We talk about them. We don't give them nothing. You know what I'm saying? We the only race, man, be doing stuff like that. We got to get better, man.
So let me say this. You also said this, and I want to bring this to the conversation.
Yeah.
Because I think there is a difference, right? So I was like this stuff with 50. He put out the Diddy documentary, right?
Shout out to the Diddy documentary that I really didn't want to see because I knew he was a slime ball. But
right, we had that discussion beforehand too. You could try to tell, you kind of tell. But Dame Dash said something about how he didn't agree how 50 was doing it. Like he didn't agree 50 should have said anything about it. And I'm just be honest, I didn't agree with that.
He wanted to let the white folks tear down instead of us tearing each other down.
Right, talking about us tear down white folk. And I'm like, hold on. I think, and you had said something about how why we got to beat each other down. And my thing is, everything ain't always beat down. I just want to know if we're on the same page, though.
That is true.
Because I do think that there needs to be accountability needs to be held amongst us as a people. You believe that?
I do believe that I feel like that's where we're lacking. We're lacking a lot of accountability.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's no reason why our numbers, as far as like talking about like the murders and all the type of things that we're dealing with, should not be that high. We weren't holding each other accountable. Yeah. Like, even with the hatred for one another, like, we need to be holding each other accountable. And that's the part that I really feel like we lack as a people. And then when somebody holds you accountable, they either say that it's disrespectful or something like that. It's like, no, it's me literally trying to look out.
Right.
True.
And and I also think that we just don't understand what true accountability is. We always assume that it's somebody hating somebody.
Right.
Instead of being like, oh no, you actually looking out for me. Like, oh, I probably do need to change. And that's where it boils down to.
But do you feel, as far as speaking of the 50, do you feel the movie from 50, do you think it's out of hate or just out of making some money?
Oh no, if we talking about 50, it's definitely being petty. It's definitely petty.
It's petty.
It's 50 Cent. It's petty, 100%.
But regardless whether it's petty or not, it needs to be put out there. That's my thing.
Right.
Regardless, I'm okay with it being put out there.
Right.
Because accountability needs to be held. You know what I'm saying, on that end. Even when you think about, just think about, you got the not just dealing with him, we got people like the Sharon Moore incident that we talking about in Michigan. That's another one with accountability.
Yeah, that
you know what I'm saying, that needs to be handled, it needs to be talked about. Because some things, if we just sweep it under the rug, man, people just think that it's okay.
It's not.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's cool, especially when we got young folk looking up to you. When you in the spotlight, and if we don't speak up against it, then who gonna speak up? Who gonna deal with it if we don't deal with it?
We're not holding ourselves to a certain standard.
And when we get these jobs, right, that's, very prominent jobs, right? Black folks. Speaking of the Michigan head coach.
Right.
He's the first black head coach at Michigan.
Yep.
And to get that job, I know he went through something,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
you know, and, you know, I heard that a lot of people didn't want him with the job, right? That can be here and there, you know, but he got the job.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, you knowing that you got this job and people don't want to see you here, you got to be on your best behavior.
Mm-hmm.
The demons that you got to hold them back. If you a freak, you better slow that freak down.
You gotta deny yourself the
You
unhealthy
got to
appetites,
deny.
man.
But that once again,
Because
that
they
starts,
waiting with the microscope.
yeah, but that's all starts with getting that discipline.
There
like
it
I was
is.
saying with me in general, like I said, it starts with disciplining yourself. Like for me, in a sense, for everybody, I truly believe that it starts with reading the Word of God.
Yeah.
That's where you're going to get all that from.
Yeah.
And then just building from there and continue, like you were saying, deny your flesh. That's literally what that is, denying your flesh,
Yep.
your pleasure.
Yeah.
Because first off, the man was married in the first place.
Yes.
Why was he even in the
Why
position?
would you put yourself in that position?
Yeah.
And it's just like, unfortunately, that's what happens when you don't have a right standing relationship as well with the Lord as well, or anything like that. So it's kind of like you gotta you
He-
in a situation like that.
he messed up the bag for
Yeah.
a leg. You know what I'm saying? like it's,
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
it's no, but it's crazy though because he had a $30 million contract. You know what I'm saying? On board, he was getting $5 million a year. You know what I'm saying? So like, you don't know the people who was looking up to him.
Yep.
Like that's why I tell you, even the Boston head coach at the time. Remember he was
Yeah.
messing with him,
Mhm.
like these
Oh,
guys
yeah.
have some of the best jobs, man. And that's why I tell you, I really do feel, Grand, that people have to take bumps in the road in order to relearn certain things and to get
No,
back
you're
discipline.
right.
Because when you think, when nothing happened to you in life, man, nothing real happened to you in life, Grand, you feel like you on the right track.
Mhm.
And you don't know about redemption yet.
Mhm.
In order to know about redemption, you have to take these bumps and bruises on the way in order to you to understand that life really means something. Like you really can't play, you know what I'm saying, behind the 8 ball and play games without knowing that you have consequences coming.
That's true.
And that go back to that word. That's what scripture tell you. You know,
Yeah.
when he say all things work together for the good of them who love God and are called according to his purpose.
Yeah.
When you talk about all things work out, it ain't just the good things. It's the bad things too.
Bad
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you live through them, but see, that's the key thing. If you live through them, you gotta survive through them. You always taking a risk because you don't know if you're gonna live through it. But if you live through it, it's best to learn from it as well. And I think that's our biggest problem is we don't tend to learn from it,
No,
especially when we see it amongst our people already.
Yeah.
Like when you already seen this happen before, you seen this thing play out before, and it didn't end right for somebody else. Why would you think, oh, you just gonna be different?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How you gonna be different when you following in the same footsteps as somebody who already failed at that?
Yeah, we're not gaining the wisdom aspect of it.
Exactly. And I think that's what we falter at more so than anything.
Do you feel, right? You know, I hear a lot of this. I hear this term a lot. If I didn't take that ride, do the time, I wouldn't be the man who I am.
Most definitely.
I don't believe that.
You don't?
No, I don't believe it. I think that mistake in your life was from bad decision. I think you was going to be whoever you are now, tough or however laid back. You was going to be that regardless. God already had his plan for you. You just took that left and had to go do that time. That was on your decision. We all have choices in life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right.
So when people say, I wouldn't be who I was, oh man, because you give them an excuse to what you did.
No.
And gave it time. I'm telling you,
Hold on. Let me
I
say
mean, I
this
get
though.
what
Let me say this. It's not no excuse. It's not no excuse. Everything does happen for a reason.
Mhm.
Like you said, God say, all that I have created for my glory. Meaning that he created for everything that we to do to glorify him. But in order for us to truly give God glory, he has to give us the option of good and bad.
Understand?
Because you can't glorify him if all you know is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta have good and bad and
Yep.
decide to choose good over bad in order to truly glorify him. Otherwise, you're just being forced to do it.
Yep.
So when I choose to do bad and those consequences or whatever, I go through the transpire because even me, when I came home from the penitentiary, I didn't give my life to Christ in prison. I didn't give my life to Christ when I left prison. It was later on in life. But I do know for a fact that it was those things also that helped lead me up to be the man that I am today. Because if not, I might not even be here if I would have not have went through that. So I can honestly say it's not a bailout. But the things I went through in the past, they helped build me up to, because they opened my eyes to see things from another perspective, to the point now where I know I really do want to glorify him. So I have to choose him even when I don't want to. And that's what a lot of people don't get.
Yeah.
They think just because you in this walk, you want to do what's good all the time. No,
not all the time. You got stuff that be creeping up.
Exactly. You think I still don't have them urges?
Of course.
You know, but guess what? But my desire to glorify him outweighs my own selfish desires.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. So yes, it took for me to go through what I went through and to see the consequences behind it, to see how that played out, to really become the man that I am today.
But I think it's gonna be that regardless. But let me tell you something, right? No, let me tell you something. If we use stuff that we learned in prison, right? Because to me, the name of this topic is home again. To me, prison was nothing but home. You understand?
Survival.
Every man for themselves survived, right? And I don't use nothing that I learned in prison in life right now.
That's a lie.
I don't. Let me tell you what, because certain things I already had, Grant.
Yeah, but you still use them.
I learned survival mode. I'm not in survival mode right now.
But you learned, but survival.
I learned that, but I'm not in that right now.
That's just that aspect of it.
But what I'm saying is, that wasn't going to make me become who I am. I was destined to be who I am now. Those are hiccups in my life. You know what I'm saying? That I had to play a role during those times. You know what I'm saying? And it was cool because that became who I was, that I didn't know who I was. Like, when you're in survival mode, you don't know what you would do, right? You don't know what you would, who you would become. And those times, like, I was walking around in jail with 2 knives.
Yeah.
That wasn't, you know what I'm saying? That was real.
Yeah.
But that ain't who I am today.
Exactly.
So what I'm saying is that whatever God was going to have destined for me at this age now, I think was going to become. I don't use jail mentality in my life now. I just know about those things. You understand? I know about it. I know to be aware, to be alive. I know these things, but I don't use those things no more because I'm not in survival mode.
Well, you just said jail, right? You just said jail, but I know a lot of things, and I could debunk what you said about not using things you went through in your life to make you the man you were today. Because just a conversation that me and you had alone, you told me, I told God, if you bring me through this, I swear I'll never sell another joint.
Wasn't jail. That was when I got shot.
Exactly, but I'm saying that's something in your past. Did he?
But when I'm talking about the past, I said jail.
Well, okay, but I'm just showing you. Hold on. But I'm just showing you how everything in your life has an effect. Now I'm because I can tell you, I still use some of the things that I deal with in the penitentiary, because guess what? I had to learn how to govern myself with dealing with authority. Because I didn't ended up in a hole before, you know, just for saying certain things to certain people. And it taught me in life that even though you may feel like you're in control of your life, you're not always in control. Therefore, you have to humble yourself.
Yep.
You have to humble yourself, even against these racist people that I know was doing stuff purposely. You know what I'm saying? Like going past my cell on commissary when I'm standing at the door, but he don't like me because he jealous of my physique at the time and stuff like that. I know how to play into those people's mind now to not allow that to be affected on me. You know what I mean? Like I learned that I know how to talk to people and win them over. See, it's certain things that I learned back then that I utilize today. And at that time, I was not a man of God, but I'm learning on how to play on the mental of people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? How to feed their egos without actually, by just humbling myself. Put it that way. By just humbling myself. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of things that I learned in there. That's just one aspect of it. But it's a lot of things that I learned in the penitentiary and in my past going through life that you utilize today. You thinking of it from just a negative perspective. It's not just a negative. I learned that you got to sit still sometimes.
Patience.
I learned
patience. Because God put us in a position to have patience.
Now you just finished my word. You just finished that. You finished what I was finna say.
Yep.
I learned how to be patient and sit still because I couldn't move. You know what I'm saying? I learned how to appreciate just being outside. By being in there. It was man, when I came home, you know, one of the main things I did was just walk out. It'd be 3, I'd wake up at 2:00 in the morning, man, and I'd just walk out. And at the time I was living with my grandmother, she look like, why is my door open? I'd be like, I'm just out here. She like, you smoking or something? Like, nah, I'm just taking a breath of fresh air. Because you know how many years I sat and could not just go out because I appreciate it. See, I learned that from there.
But that's not nothing that you wasn't going to get regardless.
Yes, it was. Listen, you don't learn to appreciate nothing till it's gone.
No.
You out your mind, boy. I beg to differ.
No.
I said, you don't learn how to appreciate nothing.
How you ever been to prison?
Nah, I've never been to prison.
But you appreciate
my
that's
freedom.
him.
Yeah, I ain't never been to prison.
That's not me. You don't understand what I said. Me, you can't tell. I probably would have never got it.
You probably.
I didn't never appreciate it until it was snatched away from me, and I was tired of sitting in that smell. Had to smell another man while he used the bathroom. I had to smell this mildew towel. And it wasn't until listen to me. I'm telling you, it wasn't until just being able to step outside when I wanted to and take a breath of fresh air that I really appreciated. I didn't even really understand. You know how when you go out of town, right? And I remember I used to travel to Mississippi with my father before, and Ohio with my mother before, and there was the only 2 places I had been prior to being in there, right? Really, and when I go to those places, it was always a different smell, right? It was always a different smell, and I remember a brief when I was young. I used to go in the summertime a lot. I used to spend a lot of time on the hunters. On 112th Indiana with my uncle. And my uncle used to always take me out there. And I remember when we used to get over there about 111 where they was burning them tires, I used to always recognize that smell, that different smell, right? So I'm realizing these smells there, but I never just being outside was never nothing that just excited me, right? That I really was like, I'm just appreciated. But until I got locked up and I could not just go outside and take a breath of fresh air. After I got locked up, though, it'd be times, and I still do it to this day, bro.
Okay, let me tell you something.
To this day. So you can't tell me that ain't nothing I ain't get from there. I would still get it.
Something that you appreciate is not nothing that you got from jail.
You're not listening, bro.
Okay, listen, this is what I'm saying.
That helped me, bro. God don't make no mistakes.
Okay, listen.
I don't care what you say.
So you tell me God's plan was for you to go to jail at that time.
Yes.
But for that to happen to your case to happen.
Yes.
So that was his plan.
Yes.
That wasn't your bad decision. So you ain't gonna put nothing on you.
No.
That's all God.
No. Listen to me. I'm not putting it on God. He know beforehand what I was gonna do. Before he said he knew me before I was in my mother's womb. He knew everything. He just used that in order for me to become the person that I am today. You don't have to believe it. I'm telling you it's true. I'm telling you, bro.
I believe
you can't tell me what I know.
God has planned for us.
Yep.
But I do believe that we can get off course and do some wild crash out shit, and things happen to us that we have to go sit down and get some discipline and come back out and go back to his plan. That's my way.
You
know what I'm saying? Because you can't put your bad decision on God's plan.
I didn't put my bad decision on God. No.
Yes, you said God planned for you to go to jail at that time.
Everything's within his plan, Jeff.
But what I'm saying is the plan could have been different, though. You didn't have to go to jail.
Listen.
That's where the choices come into play.
That's what I'm talking about.
It is a choice. Hold on.
So you made a bad decision.
If you would listen, again, it's all my choice. But he knew the choice I was going to make before I made it. He knew what I was going to do before I did it.
And he's saying he met him in his bad choice.
He already knew what I was going to do. And that is all is utilized. See, you think, see, God is sovereign. Anything God do, he has the right to do because I am his creation. So you can't consider what he do to me as bad or wrong. You can't, because he can do whatever he want to do with me. in order for me to fall in line with the plumb line that he set in the midst of his people. That's what we fail to realize. So he can use whatever he wants to use for me to become the man that he needs me to become, whether it's good or bad. And he knew beforehand whether I was going to choose to do it or not. And then I end up stepping into my role and going through what I had to go through for me to become the man that I am today. So you may not feel like that, but I'm telling you what I know for a fact.
I feel different for me.
No, I understand.
You understand? I feel different from me. I feel, you know what I'm saying? He had plans for me to do things that in my life that I'm on course doing, but I got off course.
So you basically saying you got delayed.
Yes, and a lot of people would call it wasting time. You know what I'm saying? You wasted time, you know what I'm saying, from being who you was going to be. You see what I'm saying?
No, I get what you're saying.
And a lot of people go through that. A lot of people have those mistakes. And some people don't get it until they pass. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So,
the theory about that is, like, granted, you might have drifted off and went on a different route and things like that. However, God is a redeemer of time as well. So even though you might have drifted off, the minute that you get back on course, he can redeem the time that you drifted off.
Yes, yeah.
But no, I get exactly from both sides. I understand exactly where you both are coming from. I see where different perspectives come into play. It's just I do understand that God is sovereign. Granted, yes, your bad decision. My thought process is, even though you make a bad decision, he still can meet you in your bad decision to get you back on course. It's just like a regular GPS. Anytime you go off course, it just redirects you back to the main place you're supposed to go. So same exact thing when it comes to the Lord. But that's what my theory.
Most definitely. Most definitely. He is a guide, man. He is always a guide. He'll use everything around us, man, whether it's good or bad. Yep. We just tend to think that only what's good is what God uses.
That's because that's what we've been taught.
Exactly.
In church, and that's not true.
That's not true at all. That's not true. And that's why you feel like that. That's not true, bro. He uses everything, all things, to get us to where he needs us to get to. You know, and I profited from everything. What you just saying, what don't kill you make you stronger? Mm-hmm. Man, I'm telling you. What don't kill you make you stronger. He utilized that to
don't get it though. Mm-hmm. Some people would go do 15, right? Do 10 years and still don't understand that, you know, maybe his purpose was for you to go there, for you to get yourself back on track, right? Mm-hmm. But being in that survival mode, I'm talking about a lot of people be wondering, like, where yet? I done seen people, you know what I'm saying, like really get themselves to the Lord in church. Yep. I mean, in jail.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories
and get some of the worst things happen to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very, it get very, you know what I'm saying, real in there. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're right. But that's where it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Just because you follow Christ and everything like that, his disciples died horribly.
Yes.
Like that doesn't, just because you follow him doesn't mean that everything is going to be good.
Right.
That's not true. Whatever, if any pastor ever told you that's a lie, because that's not what the word of God says.
He say, blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake.
Yes.
Blessed are those who are persecuted.
Yeah, all the disciples were murdered, basically. All the prophets got murdered. Everybody. Like, it's like, granted, nobody wants to sit there and think that they're going to be murdered. But what I'm saying is, you can't just sit there and say, oh, everything that's good that's going to happen to me is just God and everything bad is the enemy. Like, no, sometimes he will utilize everything so that it goes for his good, for his glory. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about, getting his glory. That's what it's all about. He uses a lot of negative things, and all of a sudden somehow flipped and God got the glory somehow. It's like how you get the glory out of that.
Amen.
But yeah.
But that being said, man, we're gonna flip the script a little bit, man. And I'm glad he said that because he gets the glory, man. This is our shout out to the plug segment. Man, shout out to the plug, man. First and foremost, man, God, the most high creator of all, man. I'm forever grateful to Christ for what he's done for me, man. And I just thank him for what he brought me through in life. Even bring me to the point where I'm able to share my gifts and my talents through my music, man. If you ain't in tune, get in tune. D Jenkins, man, wake up. Found on all streaming platforms. Wake up. I promise you, man, it's something that will elevate your mind, man. Get in tune, man, with it. D Jenkins, wake up. Also, man, we want to shout out some of the other people in this very intuitive, man, and deep inspirations to us all, man. I want to shout out Terrence McClurge, man. Message to the Streets, man. T-Mac, y'all get in tune, look him up. You can find his books, man, wherever you choose to get your books from digitally. Terrence McClurge, Message to the Streets. Also, man, we want to shout out Rich Attitude. Rich Attitude, they located at 5th and Walnut in Maywood, Illinois, 60153. For those that don't know, for some great apparel, man, Rich Attitude. We got some young brothers from the town doing some great things, man. Also, we want to shout out Bear Down Barbecue. You see it. You see it, man.
Made in California.
Made in Cali, man. One of our brothers, man. BearDownBarbecue.com, where you can find it. BearDownBarbecue.com, you can find it. Also, man, we want to shout out our brother Hard Body Vega, man, one of the battle rappers on the battle rap scene who came through and blessed us, man. He got an event going on. Matter of fact, he got an event going on, Cold Case 2. It's at 4122 South Union in Chicago on December 25th. Doors open at 5. The show starts at 6, man. If y'all into it, man, y'all go support my brother, Hard Body Vega, Cold Case 2, 4122 South Union, Chicago. December 27th at 5 p.m. doors open, 6 p.m. it start, man. Our brother was an inspiration, came through here, dropped some jewels on us, man. Y'all go support him on the 27th if you want to see what's up on the battle rap scene. Also, man, we want to give a shout out to, of course, Reggie Moving Forward, man. You in the Pursuit of Moving Forward 1 and 2. His book 1 and 2, Pursuit of Moving Forward. And you can also find him on this every Tuesday. He back on the Voice of Vaz. Nightcap, Voice of Vaz with Reggie Moving Forward, man. And of course, our very own
Moolah Monster.
Moolah Monster.
For sure.
For sure.
Find us at moolahmonster.com. You know what I'm saying? Find all the greatest gear, the winter gear, jogging suits, you know what I'm saying? Got a sale on, y'all come check us out for sure. And want to give a shout out to next week. We got a podcast, the finale of this year. Y'all come out. We got a watch party, the Bears versus Green Bay. Gonna be big, fellas. Come on out. We're gonna be having some tacos, popcorn, you know what I'm saying? And we're doing a coat draft too.
Everybody to come bring a coat.
Bring a coat, man. Bring a scarf, a hat, or something, man. We giving back to the community is what we always do. It's our 3rd year doing it. You know, shouts out to us, man. You know, we don't pat ourselves on the back enough, you know what I'm saying? And I'm the type of cat, you know what I'm saying? I like to, you know, celebrate things that we do as far as with the community or things that we do individually, you know what I'm saying? As far as your music, clothing, books, stuff like that. Shout out to my people that's here, my man Doe, my nigga Bone, you know what I'm saying? They from the hood, Maywood, stand up. Shout out to the mayor, you know what I'm saying? He's steady on the move. He got my man working his ass off, you know what I'm saying, in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying, cutting trees down.
For all my public work employees out there, man, hats off to all my public work employees, specifically Maywood Public Works, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the people that's out there putting in that work, take care of their community, man, and doing it with a pride to make the village better, you know. And last but not least, of course, man, Fear God Not Man Apparel. My man Nick Jackson, man, where can they find you at, bro?
So you can find me at FGNM for Life on the Instagram or FGNM for Facebook. And then you can check out the website, www.feargodnotmanlifewear.com. Right now, like I said, it's down for a second, but it'll be up and running another week or so.
Most definitely.
I got another shout out too. Shout out to Centurion Containers, man.
Yeah.
LLC out in South Holland, man. Tony, Mike, Barbara, and Madeline is retiring. Shouts out to Madeline for doing, I don't know how many years. Shouts out to you, you know what I'm saying? And shouts out to Mr. T-Shirts. My guy Joe over there, Joe and Fred. Shouts out to them guys, man, and Harvey. You know what I'm saying? Salute.
Salute, man. Shout out to the plug, man. Everybody who make this possible for us to go on every time that we do, and man. We're very appreciative of you guys. Yeah. And, you know, without further ado, man, of course. Hold on, that's what I'm finna before we go, slow down.
Yes, so, sir. Yes, sir.
Before we go, hey, you came on the show, man. We trying to get you on here. Glad you got on here, man. Yes, and of course, always, man, we don't never leave without parting gifts with you. My bro got something for you.
Yes,
thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
Hey, once you go on our show, man, it's like family, right? Anytime we have something, we'll call you out, man. Come on and join us, man. Like I said, we got the watch party next week.
Okay.
Come on and join us, man. Do for them Bring
Yeah.
big
Do for
bands,
the
man.
package right
There you
here,
go,
right
there you
here.
Let's go, man.
Thank you, brothers. Thank you, my man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Shout out to the plug, man.
Shouts out to
Yeah.
the plug.
Man, well, as always, man, it was a blessing. It was a blessing for you guys to chime in with us. A blessing for us to be on here, man. Let's give a round of applause, man,
Yes,
for
sir.
our
Yes,
guests,
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
for
sir.
our audience. Always.
And this is our 5th year doing this, man. And let me tell you, man, it's hard. Anybody thinking about doing podcasting, man, it's not something that you can just jump into, man. Just take dedication, determination. Sometimes when you don't want to do it, we push each other, man. My brother right there, Riz, my brother, man, been doing this for 5 years strong. You can't even find a rock band to stay together 5 years. You know what I'm saying? So I want to salute these guys, man. And our things that we got coming soon, you know what I'm saying, as far as we going to Vegas and have a good time, do 2 shows. We got some big things coming up as far as with Survivor Pack this summer, man. I want y'all to get ready for this summer. We're doing another celebrity golf tournament, man, which was great. You know what I'm saying? We did a video for it, man. We're doing big things, man. And all the people who support us, we're grateful. We're
Very grateful.
We're grateful. And all the people who just, you know what I'm saying, want to hate on us, man, we're grateful. We're grateful. You know what I'm saying? Because it all, means us very much.
It's motivation,
It's
man.
motivation.
It's all love, man.
Yeah.
We appreciate each and every last one of you guys. And thank you for chiming in. With that being said, again, one more time, where they can find you at, my brother?
You can find me at Fear God Not Man, lifeword.com, or Instagram. You can find me at FGNM for Life, the number 4 life. And then you can find me on Facebook, FGNM as well.
There it is. Moolah Monster.
Monster.com. Hottest website in the world. Y'all better go check us out, boy. You can find some of this behind the scene footage, man, that we be out here doing, man. You can find some of our artists and apparel.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Come on through, man. Talk to.
Oh, for sure.
Most
Make
definitely.
that happen.
And of course, you can find me at djenkinsforchange at gmail.com if you want to email me. Also, you can find me at TOTB_show, DJenkins_25 on Facebook, IG, and of course, D Jenkins on TikTok, man. It was a blessing as always. And with that, we are thinking outside the box.
Yep.
Blessings, great people.
See, things have come to head, time out for scare you, reroute today. And follow us down Courage Lane. They cages in, break down the gates. We want all the smoke, like we chiefin' on a pound a day, but not talking intoxicating rage. Not intoxicating tragic.
Camped out at home for COVID? Join us, Indie TV, where you will see the talk shows, movies, drama, action, and comedy. Be the first and see it first. Sign up now for free at Indie TV.